What is up, my shadows? It's me, Haven from Shadow Vortex TV, and I'm your host for this mini series, Midnight Vibes. This is episode 6, season 2. Now, before we go into the episode, I do want to say I am grateful and I want to thank you to all my shadows who have, subscribed recently, and those of you that have been with me since the start. And I'm glad to be doing this mini series, and I'm glad to be back from hiatus because without you it wouldn't be this. So let's go and let's get this starting. And I forgot to mention dim the lights, raise the volume. The Oxford Hotel. This dark narrative takes place in a hotel. This is a version of the story that was told to me when I was a child, so my tale might not exactly match yours, and everything might not be accurate. Hope you guys enjoy though. Here we go. The Oxford Hotel was built in 1891, which is the oldest and most historic hotel in downtown Denver to this day. To stay at this antique beauty, one would have to pay between $270 to $370 a night to experience this luxury. Just 7 years after the hotel opened in 1898, a tragedy occurred in room 320. A young woman by the name of Florence Montague checked in with her lover. The room key that was given to this young couple was soon to be a storytelling legend with years to come. William Henry Lawrence, or W.H. Lawrence, age 45, who had a wife and family of 5 kids in Cleveland, Ohio, worked on telegrams at the Lincoln Journal. Lawrence knew his wife having to do a lot of household chores and watch over the kids throughout the years brought a huge burden on their lives. With him working long hours and coming home to a wife that was always asleep from her motherhood role, living a lifestyle with more than enough money to buy gifts, clothes, and food on the table on a daily for his family. They were always satisfied and jolly because there wasn't a day where they weren't missing a dime. Of course, that didn't resolve the sexual urgency he had. He made up his mind one day to go out on a trip to Denver to pick up a young 24-year-old receptionist by the name of Florence Montague. Some references say her real maiden name was Richardson. He started to be with this Richardson woman ongoing weeks after work, and before he could go home, he did refreshing up every time him and Miss Florence got together. They've been having an affair that's been going on for a long period of time. Lawrence knew his wife having to do a lot of household chores and watching over the kids throughout the years brought a huge burden on their lives, with him working long hours, coming home to a wife that was always asleep from her motherhood role. On September 8, 1898, Florence and her lover checked into Oxford to room 320, though it was the site of a grisly murder-suicide. Florence Richardson shot her married lover before turning the gun on herself. The man was found in the hallway clutching his stomach and pleading, "Don't shoot again!" Florence died in the room, but it took her lover 3 painful days to be overwhelmed by the injury. It appears that the shooting was the result of a jealousy, and he had refused to give her more money since the last run-ins with one another. Miss Florence was convinced that Lawrence had agreed to run away to start a new life together during their past meetups. It is stated in some articles Miss Florence had been very dissolute and addicted to morphine, and which was one of the many reasons she always asked for money. Lawrence's declared intention of leaving her and returning to his family caused the upcoming inevitable death. Since then, single male guests who stay in room 320 have reported sheets being ripped off the bed and their arms being pulled by an unseen force. But the unexplained terror doesn't end there. Males that stay in room 320 have reported feeling their arms being pulled, but there seems to be a lot of poltergeists for single men. Today, many claim that Florence ghost still occupies room 320. Guests who have stayed in the room have seen objects flying from one side of the room to the other. Also, many guests have felt the bed sheets being pulled from underneath them while they were sleeping. Some accounts say the woman's name was Florence Richardson. Other sources say her name was Florence Monte. But all accounts agree on the matter. Was the spirit incited to a violently energetic display of frustration and envy? Anyways, does the story encourage you? What's the holdup? Book a stay at the Oxford Hotel for your next vacation in Denver, Colorado. Because like always, I will not do such thing. Well, I'll see you guys until the next one. And like always, keep them fresh vibes. Bye-bye. Oh, and one more thing. I'm actually going to throw in an extra video after this. You know, for the spirit of Friday the 13th. And especially because it's October. So stay tuned in a couple minutes because I will be uploading this very, very soon. I promise. It might be past midnight, but we're still getting that spooky feeling and keeping the creepy season going. So, like always, keep them fresh vibes. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.